या अली मदद कामड़िया साहब, तमाम साथियों को या अली मदद, या अली मदद, या अली मदद। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। या मौलाए मेहरबान नूर मौलाना शाह करीम अल हुसैनी हाज़िर इमाम, या मौला तेरे मुबारक नाम में बहुत ही बरकत है मौला। तेरे मुबारक नाम को लेते ही दिल में एक सुकून की लहर दौड़ जाती है मौला। या मौला, या मौला, या इमाम ज़मान, या नूर मौलाना शाह करीम अल हुसैनी हाज़िर इमाम, हाज़िर इमाम। तेरे नाम में शिफा भी है, बरकत भी है मौला। या मौलाए मेहरबान हमें तौफीक, ताईद, हिम्मत व यारी इनायत फरमा मौला। या मौला तो हमारे साथ हर दम रहना मौला। या मौला हमारी ज़बान पर, हमारे दिलों में, हमारी अकुल में हर हमेशा तेरा नाम चलता रहे मौला। या मौला हमारा कोई भी ऐसा एक मिनट, एक घंटा ऐसा ना गुजरे जिसमें हम तुझे याद ना करें मौला। या मौलाए मेहरबान तेरे एहसानात हम पर हो गए हैं बेशुमार। या मौला तेरे एहसानात हम पर हो गए हैं बेशुमार। या मौला हमें तौफीक दे कि हम इन एहसानात की शुक्रगुजारी कर सके मौला। या मौलाए मेहरबान, या मौलाए मेहरबान तौफीक, ताईद, हिम्मत व यारी। हम मौला के मुबारक नाम से इस सेशन का आगाज़ करते हैं। नूर मौलाना शाह करीम अल हुसैनी हाज़िर इमाम, हाज़िर इमाम। Once again, welcome to this Sunday morning session, and we are continuing with our Jamat Khana practice and purpose sessions. As more and more Jamaat Khanas are opening every single day, we are hoping that all of us will be able to go to Jamaat Khana without restrictions. We are hoping that we will be able to benefit more and more from our attendance in the Jamaat Khana. We will be spiritually enlightened, intellectually be enlightened, and prayers are and wish are that we will have Imam's Batini Didar in Jamaat Khana. My friends, brothers and sisters, we have prepared this presentation or this session in last 3-4 weeks that we have been talking about Jamaat Khana practice and purposes, and we noticed that one of the questions keep coming up, and that is the way we behave in Jamaat Khana and how we see others amongst us in our respective Jamaat Khanas. I think and this is just my poor, garib opinion, we need to have a more detailed look. Remember, changes begins with us, not with them. What does it mean? We cannot control and we cannot change people, but you do control your action and you can change your behavior. You will say, but Aziz Ba, how will this resolve the problem? Role modeling, positive changes, positive thinking, positive actions, one at a time. And that starts with I and me, you and yourself, one person at a time. Because we only control our action, we do not control other people's action. Everyone has a free will. But when they will see you in a positive light, that so and so have a positive role modeling, hope and prayers are eventually we will change, and they will change, and then more people will change, and inshallah Imam is merciful, Imam is great, he can change the heart. Mullah Ali alayhi salam says, Ya Muqallibul Qulub, he is the one who can change the hearts. But we need to change our heart first. Let's take the lead in the role modeling, in the positive role modeling. So today, our subject under the headline of Jamat Khana, practice and purposes are, we are one as one Jamaat. And let's see what our Imams have guided us. How can our Farameen can guide us in a positive manner, in a positive way. So we have selected some of the Farameen, and I like to thank those who help research for these Farameens. I truly appreciate that. And we should not forget Kamri Sahib, who has been arranging these classes for months after months after months. So very first Farman, and you will see why we have kept this Farman on top, because every Farman that we will read, it will reflect on this Farman, on this one line. Become as strong as mountain in this deen. In your religion, in your tariqah, become as strong as mountain. Remember positive role modeling? You are that mountain. You are that mountain that can change the behavior of the Jamaat in the respected Jamaat Khana that you attend. How do you do that? Go to Jamaat Khana regularly, attend majalis, jagran, and taking out meaning of the Ginan. And Ginan is the ilm. Taking out the meaning of the ilm, explain to all. And as you become strong as a mountain, you will be that light, the beacon of light between and amongst the Jamaat. You will be that light. You will be that positive change. There is no need to have thousands of people of Deen. Now you will see why we have kept this Farman on the top. There is no need to have thousands of people for Deen, but 2% of pure-hearted. खाली दो भी ऐसे हो, clean are sufficient. 2% of pure-hearted clean are sufficient. Mullah said. खाली 2 लोग भी ऐसे हो गए तो हम पूरी जमात को चेंज कर सकते हैं. Be that light. Be the beacon of the light. Positive role modeling. With deep knowledge, with deep understanding of our batin, deep understanding of our tariqah, deep respect of our Jamaat Khanas, with the understanding that Imam is always present in Jamaat Khana. How would you behave if Imam is present in Jamaat Khana and you can see him? What your action will be? That's how we will change. That's how we will change. Make your Iman very strong. Become more Imani than you are today. How do you become more Imani than you are today? Learn, learn, learn. Imam says this 11 times. Learn. More ilm, more stronger you will become. More stronger, more Imani you will become. Because you have more knowledge under your belt. You understand your Batini Tariqah more. You will understand Jamaat Khana more. You will understand rites and rituals more. You will have the recognition of the Imam, which will make you and your Iman strong as mountain. My brothers and sisters, let's be the beacon of the light. Let's be that role model that positively will change the Jamaat that we go to, the Jamaat Khanas we go to. With their conviction, with their Iman, we can do this. Because all of us want to. And we have received over 100 questions on this concern, that Jamaat is not behaving the way we should behave in Jamaat Khana. So what do we do about this? This is exactly what we are going to do. We're going to be that role model. I know you can be, and I know I can be. We together, if only 100 people in this session become that positive role model, how many different Jamaat Khanas do we all go to? Do we go to 50 different Jamaat Khanas? 25 different Jamaat Khanas? And what about all those people who will listen to this lecture tomorrow, the next week, and next month? Now we are talking about global Jamaat. This impact of this will be globally, not locally. From Canada to Australia, from Africa to Pakistan, from Russia to America. This can bring a positive change, a change of behavior. Because we believe and we know, without any doubt in our heart that Imam is present always, always and always in Jamat Khana, and that's how we are going to behave in front of Mola Bapa, our dear, our spiritual father. Let's come to the second farman of this. Anyone who behaves favorably, amicably within the Jamaat will get reward in both this world and hereafter. We see you, Jamaat, as angels. आपके अच्छे काम का जो reward है, just imagine if you as one person can change the Jamaat, that's a tremendous changes. And think of all the sawab. How many good deeds will be counted for you? That would be unlimited good deeds counted in your favor. And you will be rewarded on both sides. And Imam said, we see you as angels. आप फरिश्तों का काम कर सकते हैं जो काम अमूमन normally are done by angels. You are that angel. Believe it. You are the angel of the Imam Zaman. Because you're going to carry this flag, this positive changes, and you can do it. Let's come to the next farman. Come to Jamat Khana, conversing with evil persons and to make friendship with them will be of no use. Even though it sounds very negative, farman, but there is a positive in it. Very, very much positive message. Friendship of Hakiki Momin will be beneficial. So let's think of this farman. Mullah has given us two choices. There are always going to be people who will disturb the peace. May it be through their action or through their words or through their ill concepts. Disturbing the peace in all way possible. There will always be people like that. Do not second them. Do not become friend with them, because then there is no use. So what do? You stay away from those people and then make a friendship with the Hakiki Momin. That would be the beneficial. That would be beneficial. Now you have a friend, a like-minded friend who thinks like you. If you are good, then he and she is good. If you are the light for the Jamaat, he and she will become light for the Jamaat just like you. If you are their positive change, then he and she can help you in that changes. Be careful with who we keep our friendship with. I know sometimes it's hard because our friends can be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of friendship. But if they are the disturbance, if they are the one who are the reason for the disturbance in the Jamaat and in your Jamaat Khana, then what do you need to do? Can you change them? If yes, great. If you can't, then you know what to do. But keep according to Imam's Farman. I'm not telling you anything. Imam is saying keep friendship with Hakiki Mu'minin And that would be beneficial to your soul and beneficial for the Jamaat in your respected Jamaat Khanas. Let's come to next farman. You can see how many different faramins there are on this topic. Meaning this is not a new phenomena. This has been going on for hundreds of years. And Imam has given farman after farman after farman to correct our behavior. Correct our behavior. Mullah says in this farman, go to Jamaat Khan daily and perform ibadat properly. There's a lot to be said about that. Go to Jamaat Khana daily and perform ibadat properly. Not half-heartedly. Our mind, our heart should be very attentive in what we are doing. We should have a complete understanding of what we are doing. And we should have greater batini understanding of everything we do, everything we perform, every rites and ritual. May it look very insignificant and small to us. We should know exactly the batini meaning of our rites and ritual and other things that we perform as Dua Karani, Niyaz, Chanta, Hazinda, Nandi, etc. etc. Perform ibadat properly. The word ibadat comes from following and obedience. Be that obedient. Be that obeying mu'min of the Imam. Not 50%, not 99%. Obedient to the Imam 100%. Perform your ibadat, your following, your bayah properly. Do we see how deep these faramins are? In one word, Imam is catching our heart and mind that if you are coming to Jamaat Khana, 100% perform ibadat properly. 100%. Then, now let's come to the oneness of the Jamaat. Work together among yourself. Work together among yourself. We consider you as our sons, our children. Always come to Jamaat Khana with love and serve the imamat well. जमात खाने जब हम जाते हैं तो हमारे दिल के अंदर इमाम के लिए प्यार होना चाहिए, जमात के लिए प्यार होना चाहिए, जमात खाने के लिए प्यार होना चाहिए. When we go to Jamaat Khana, we should have the love in our heart for the Imam, for the brother and sister, our Jamaat, and the Jamaat Khana. Always come to Jamaat Khana with love and serve the Imamat well. Do not act in a way that lessens your service to Jamaat and Imam and harms you. Do not act in the way that it will harm or lessen the service to the Jamaat and the Imam, because that will harm you. So what is the way to go? Have a pure heart. Go to Jamaat Khana with the love for the Imam. Love for the Jamaat. Because you cannot have a love for the Imam if you don't have a love for his children, the Jamaat, and his house, the Jamaat Khana. Think about this for a second. Pure heart. Pure heart. If we have that pure heart, the light of the Imam will reflect from you. If we have pure heart, the light of the Imam will reflect from you. That is the changes we are looking for. That is the changes we need and we will make. There will be no one in Jamaat Khana that we will think of ill, bad, against. We will pray for those who do not want to change. We will pray for them. And we will work with those who want to change. And as we move forward, as we go deeper, inshallah, more and more people will be on the right side along with you. But you are that mountain. You are that light that will change things, inshallah. Now, next Farman, we remember someone had asked us, and sometimes it is really hard to answer some of this kind of questions. So it is better if we use Imam's word for us to understand. Because all of us agree on one thing, and that is the Farman of the Imam. We may not agree with each other, but we always agree on one single platform, and that is Farman of the Imam. So when I read this Farman, you will understand what the questions were. Because we do not need to repeat the question. We will understand what we are saying and where we are going. Imam says, when you come in Jamaat Khana, all are same. We are all same. There are no poor, no rich. We are all same, regardless of our background. I remember one of the Farman of Nur Maulana Shah Karimul Hussaini as Imam Salawatullah Alayhi of Pakistan, where Imam says, when I come here and when I go to Sindh, the Sindhi talks about Punjabis, and Punjabi talks about Balochi, and Balochi talks about Kathiawari, and Kathiawari talks about Kutchi. But Imam said, remember, in front of me, you are all same and one. And this Farman is about 100 years before that Farman that I'm referring to. Imam says, all are same. We are all same. Regardless of where we from, what language we speak, how educated we are, how rich or poor we are. Regardless of the seat and status, the degrees, we are all same. We are all spiritual children of the Imam as Zaman, brother and sister. Keep that in mind now. So let's see what else Mullah says. Coming in the house of God denotes coming in the Jamaat Khana, where all are equal. So first, initially, Imam said we are all equal. And then amongst us, let's see what is that. Consider the Mukhi superior than you. And Mullah will explain why do we consider Mukhi superior than us. I have made Mukhi superior upon you. That's why I said we may not agree with each other, but we all agree with Imam's Farman. So it is better if we use Imam's word, not our own words. Imam says, I have made the Mukhi superior upon you. I have not chosen him as a Mukhi upon you to see him a rich. He has been assigned to serve the Imam and the Jamat. He has been assigned to serve the Imam and the Jamat, and also to look after the Imam's fund properly, in proper manner. Mukhi is my servant, and give him due respect and maintain his honor in befitting manner. Very important. Keep the honor. Maintain his honor. Mukhi is the Amar of the Imam in Jamat Khana. Not as a superior, but as my servant. He is appointed for you, Jamat. This Farman tells us a lot. And I believe those questions that people have sent, this answers your question without Nachiz and Garib adding any words to it. You understand exactly what Imam is saying and what Imam wants. And Imam wants the Mukhi's honor and respect. Therefore, maintain his honor. It is essential for the Jamaat to have patience. So when you have those problems, you know what I'm talking about? Have patience. Keep honor. Maintain the respect. Maintain the respect. You will make your Imam happy because you are following his Farman. You are following his Amar. And that's what Imams want from the Jamaat. Remember, it is Imam who's guiding you. Have patience. Don't worsen your tongue unnecessarily. Do not dominate on others unjustly. Don't speak lie unnecessarily and keep patience. Sabr, shukr, sabr, shukr. Even if we are in a situation when you are certain, 100% you are right, still, don't worsen your tongue. Keep patience. Sabr and shukr, Imam will love you for that. He will reward you for that. Don't create disturbance unjustly, as nothing is procured in it. You keep patience. 3 times, Mullah says. You keep patience. Sabr is a virtue. Patience is virtue. Sabr, shukr. Sabr, shukr. It will give you peace of mind, happiness in your heart. It will make your Imam happy, and it will keep the peace in the Jamaat. Let's come to the next page. So this was the end of the Faramin references, and our last session on the subject Jamat Khana, practice and purposes, next week will be Majalis and Majalis enrollment. And inshallah, We still have a few questions from the previous week that we can cover today, or if we have any new question today, we will be able to take it now. So let me take these two questions about Shah-Jo Didar from last week. Think of the action that we take in Shah-Jo Didar. And this is another way we are right on our topic of one Jamat and one purpose, or we are one as one Jamat. In Shah-Jo Didar, there are two batini aspects. When we turn around to the person on the right and turn around to the person on the left, by saying Shah-Jo Didar, you are actually saying two different things. But they are both correct. Both thoughts are correct. First, the action. Be mindful. When you turn to the person to the right and the left, look at them when you're saying Shah-Jo Didar. Because number one, you are saying, "Oh my brother, oh my sister, oh spiritual children of the Imam Zaman, when I see you, I see my Mola in you." Look at the love and affectionate. When I see you, I see the Didar of the Imam in you. And there is second batini meaning, much more deeper batini meaning in Shah-Jo Didar. Because we are supposed to look into the eyes of the person next to us. And what do we see in his or her eyes? We see our own reflection. Our own reflection in their eyes. And we say, Shah-Jo Didar, I see in your eyes the Didar of the Imam. Because we are sun ray of the sun. We are the spiritual children of the spiritual father. Imam is the example of the sun, and we are the example of sun ray. And as we do Shah-Jo Didar, with conviction, with belief that we see Imam's Didar in our brother and sister, and we see Imam's Didar in their eyes. So this was Shah-Jo Didar question. The next question was Tasbih Giryawazari. I believe we had answered this last week. Then I captured this screen in our London Zoom calling. And I thought maybe this will help the person who's asking question about Zikr Tasbih, about Giryawazari Tasbih. So first, just let's take the Tasbih as a generic. What does it mean we take the Tasbih, we do Zikr Tasbih, we do Giryawazari Tasbih, we do Baitul Khayal Tasbih, we do this Tasbih, we do that Tasbih? What is the one thing in common? What is the one thing in common? We remember him. That is the one thing in common. Regardless of the name of the Tasbih. When we do Tasbih, what are we doing? We are remembering him. And when we remember him, what happens? He remembers us. That's why I like this. I took this screenshot from the London session. I love this one. Someone has done a great job preparing this slide. When we remember him during tasbih, doesn't matter which tasbih we are talking about. When we remember him, he remembers us. When we call on him, he responds to us. And Allah says, when you pray unto me, I will hear your prayers. With this understanding, all the other things are secondary now. Girya-o-zari means the tasbih that we do with soft heart and the tears in our eyes. Girya, ajizi, zari, crying. With most humbleness in our heart and the tears in our eyes, we call upon our loving Imam and we do Girya-o-zari tasbih. Being mindful is the key. Because it doesn't matter what tasbih we do, if we are not mindful, if our heart and mind is not in the tasbih, then everything else is null and voided. It doesn't matter you are saying Ya Ali, it doesn't matter you saying Ya Muhammad, it doesn't matter you saying Pirsha, Pirsha, it doesn't matter what you're saying. Being mindful is the key. So when Mukhi Sahib says, do the tasbih of Subha Sadiq, Ya Allah, Ya Wahab, Ya Ali, Allah Samad, or in the evening, Ya Ali, Ya Muhammad, or just Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, or Mushkil Asan, Ya Ali, Madad Rasan, Ya Ali. Doesn't matter which tasbih. Remember, you are remembering and you are calling upon the Imam's mercy. And when you call on him, he replies, he responds. When you remember him, he remembers you. So what is important? The core, the batin, the meaning behind those tasbih. At home, someone had asked, at home, what tasbih should I take? And I would respond, what are your niyat? Because niyat is important. If your niyat is to remember Mola, then remember him with any name you like. Because all praises are due to him. Whatever name you call him on, that is the right name. Whatever name you call him on, that is the right name. Because that will come from your heart. That will come from your heart. And Imam looks at and listen to your heart. You can call him Mola, you can call him Imam, you can call him Ali, you can call him Mola Bapa, you can call him whatever you want, Rahman, Rahim, Kareem, whatever you want. Listen to your heart. Whatever comes from your heart, that is important. That is important. If you are in mushkil, some kind of trouble, call on him. He will respond to you. Take any tasbih you like. Whatever tasbih is your heart tells you, that is the tasbih you should take. Inshallah, this is the question that we have from last week. Kamle Sahib, do we have question today in our chat? There are so many possible answers to this question, but one and the essential and the very first step, and that is one word: practice. Practice, practice and practice. And when we say practice, meaning during the day, during any other hour than ibadat time. You cannot wait until 4 o'clock in the morning and say, I'm going to be attentive. I don't want it to be disturbed. I cannot be disturbed. You cannot say that. So what do you say? How do you do it? During the daytime, practice. My humble opinion is that we should practice 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the ibadat during daytime. Take time out of your busy schedule. May it be 7 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the evening. Doesn't matter. Take 5 minutes out of your busy schedule and break the cycle. Break the cycle of your worldly work. Just like you take your break for your lunch, take the break for the imam. Practice 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Practice, practice. One day you will do 5 minutes, next day you will do 10 minutes. Maybe you will take 2 different breaks. Do 5 minutes and 5 minutes. More practice, and you will see in about 40 days of this practice, you will be more attentive and mindful, and with the peace, you will be able to do your ibadat. That was the first. Second, the speed of your Isme Azam. Nachis and Garib call this 2 prescription to successful ibadat. 2 prescription to successful ibadat are: 1. Practice, practice, practice. Take the few minutes during the daytime. 2nd, speed, speed, speed. Speed of your Isme Azam. If you have a correct speed of your Isme Azam, then the thoughts will not enter your mind and you will be able to concentrate on ibadat. I will encourage you to listen to 3 lectures that Nachis and Garib had delivered to London Jamat. The name is Ibadat Bandagi. There are 3 lectures on this subject. And in that you will find those 2 prescriptions for successful ibadat. Ji. Ji. Very good question. Thank you for asking. First, what does it mean that we are Dai? In English, there are many interpretations: ambassador, representative. But Dai literally means a caller. Someone who calls others toward the Imam. So literal meaning of the Dai, in English we take it very lightly. We call it representative, we call it ambassador and all those. But actual meaning of the Dai is caller. Caller toward the Imam. Someone who will call toward the Imam. Imam himself, in his Farman in Atlanta, when he came for in Atlanta during Diamond Jubilee and gave this blessed title to the entire Jamat of Dai, he said, do you know what Dai is? Have you seen the Dais in our history? And I'm paraphrasing. I would encourage you to look at the Farman. What our Dais did in the history in the past. How did they behave? What did they have to make them a Dai? and you will come to conclusion that our dais had complete ilm hakiki, ilm imam, the true knowledge of the imam. So what imam is saying to you by telling you, you are my dai? Ilm, ilm, ilm. That is what imam is saying. Become my dai. Have so much hakiki ilm, the true ilm of the imam, that when people look at you, they will say, you are my dai. Because you are the one who are just like the dais of our history, of our past. You have the complete knowledge, hakiki knowledge of our tariqah of the imam. The ilme imam, ilme hakiki, the true knowledge. True knowledge is the one that will make you a true dai, that imam wish and will for you. Imam want each one of us to have that level of knowledge and the ilm as our dais had in our past. Very good question. Thank you for asking. Ji. Yeah, actually, Arif-e-Zaman has given us like 10 or 12 different kind of way of doing tasbih. Zikr jali, zikr khafi. Loud zikr, silent zikr. Zikr lisani, zikr kalbi. And this is your question. Zikr lisani with your tongue. Zikr kalbi with your heart. Now, it doesn't require you to be saying anything. Zikr samavi, listening to the tasbih. Zikr khiyali, thinking of a tasbih. Look at how comprehensive our tariqah and our tariqah's talimat, teaching is. There are tasbihs that you can do different ways. You don't have to be saying it loud. As long you are remembering him, regardless of what I just said. Zikr khafi, zikr jali, zikr kalbi, zikr lisani, zikr samavi, zikr khiyali. Because what is one thing in common? You are remembering him. And that's what Imam's Farman is. Remember me. Even if you have 5 seconds, remember. Very beautiful question. Thank you. Otherwise, I would have never get a chance to describe different kind of tasbiyat that a mu'min can perform. If you wanted to write it down, I would encourage those who are scholars and who like to write down notes. Remember, zikr khafi, zikr jali, zikr kalbi, zikr lisani, zikr samavi, zikr khiyali. Ji, Kamle Sahib. Subhanallah, Subhanallah. The question is what our actions would be after we die. So first of all, what do we have after we die? Do we have jism, the body, or do we have soul? If we only have a soul, the free will comes with the body. Once we leave this body, there is no free will. We will only have two masrufiyat, or what do you call that? Our entire busyness our entire action will involve or revolve around two things after we die. Ibadat, bandagi. Within the ibadat bandagi is also the listening, learning and recognizing the Imam. Now remember, there is a chart that we can share, or you may already have that. This question also depends on who you are and which soul you are referring to. On the generic level, I cannot put 100% of the mu'mineen in this generic answer. Meaning there are different mu'mins on different levels. But if we just talk commonly, in general language, then let's say that we are today in the example of a clock. Example of a clock, you are on number 6, which is represent our world. And there is a lecture on this understanding of the clock and the status of our ruh. The name of the lecture is What is Soul, Ibadat and Bandagi. If you take those lecture and those pamphlet or the diagrams, you will understand more, inshallah. But let me try to explain here. And those lectures will have all the references you are looking for. Let's say that at the generic level, in the general sense, we are at the number 6 on the clock, and that represents our world. And when we leave, we did not go all the way to number 12 on the top. But let's say we went from 6 to 5. How will we move from 5 to 4, 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1, and then at number 12, what we call Fana fi Imam, जिसको हम अपनी सादा लैंग्वेज में रूह को निजात मिल गई. So what will we will be doing between 5 and 4? We will be taking the knowledge, the recognition of Imam, and we will be doing Ibadat Bandagi. Taking the knowledge is part of Ibadat Bandagi, because Ibadat meaning serving, and Ibadat meaning obeying, following, and Bandagi meaning serving. Within that includes recognition of the Imam. And how do you recognize the Imam? With ilm. If we did not take enough true Imam's ilm in this world, then today you have a free will to take the knowledge or not to take the knowledge. But once your soul leaves your body, you will have no choice. You will be happily, unwillingly, but happily, you will be taking the knowledge of the recognition of Imam, because Imam in this Jama, Imam in previous Jama, and all the way to Imam's Mullah Ali's time. There is one common farman of the all Imams. You know what that is? Recognition of Imam. If we did not have that recognition of Imam, then we will be receiving that recognition between 6 and the 12 on the chart. I will encourage you to find, if not, give your contact to Kamre Sahib. He will share the references, he will share the chart, and he will share the lectures of what is soul, ibadat and bandagi lectures, and it will give you complete understanding, inshallah, and all the references and then some of your question. Thank you. Very beautiful question. Thank you for asking. That is very, very beautiful question. If somebody is learning, then somebody is teaching, right? I'm just so surprised that I wanted to keep some secrets and I was not disclosing everything. Remember I said I cannot be talking about all the souls. The souls which are ahead of us in the ranks, not in the time, but in the ranks. There are 12 ranks of Hudud-e-Din. Depending on which rank you are on when you leave this physical world. But just for the sake of argument and sake of learning, let's say we are at the level of Mustajib, which is level 1, then Mazun will be teaching us. If we are at the level of Mazun, then Dai will be teaching us. It all depends on which level you left when you left this world. The higher the level you receive in this world, the higher you will be on those numbers between 6 and 12. Take knowledge, take Hakiki Imam's knowledge, gain the ranks of Hudud-e-Din. The more ranks you cover in this physical world, the more higher you will be on that chart. It is possible that you could be teaching somebody else, and at the same time somebody will be teaching you. Let's say you are at the level of Da'i, then Peer will be teaching you and you will be teaching the Mu'mineen under you, because the cycle is on the cycle like this. Everybody will be taking care of each other at the level of soul. Here it is not possible to teach all the Ismaili at the same time, or even all of your Jamat at the same time, because we are limited to the time and space. Plus we have a free will here. We can say I wanted to learn or I don't want to learn. But there, after you leave the body, there is no free will. If you did not do what you were supposed to do to elevate your soul from 6 to 12, then you are in the cycle and you will be learning, or if you have a higher rank, you will be teaching. This was something that I didn't think I will be talking about today, because there are some limitation in revealing the secrets of hereafter. So we need to be mindful and careful of that. But thank you for asking, appreciate it. Is it okay to recite the Nadali for betterment of our children? Such a great question again. I thank you. Nadali is such a beautiful Hadith-e-Qudsi. It is the Farman-e-Ilahi for the Mu'mineen to seek the help of Ali in all mushkilat. We should recite Nadali for the betterment of our own soul, of our children, of our family, and for our Jamaat. Nadali is a beautiful, beautiful way of calling on Mola Ali and seeking his help for ourselves and our children? Yes, definitely. I think somebody wanted to, somebody is asking, of those 6 kind of zikr, may I repeat that again, please? Yes. Ji, thank you, Kamlesh sir. Zikr khafi, hidden zikr. Zikr jali, loud zikr. Zikr lisani, zikr with your tongue. Zikr kalbi, zikr with your heart. Zikr samavi, listening to zikr with your ears. Zikr khyali, doing the zikr in your thoughts. Thank you, Kamlesh Sahib, and thank you for asking. Yes. It depends on which level you are at. The question again is, would we be learning and teaching both? It all depends on which rank level you are at. If you are at the level of mustajib, then you only be learning. If you are at any other level, the mazoon, the dai, the pir, the hujjat, then you will be teaching and the learning at the same time. Yes. Okay. So the question is, because your question has a 2 different implication, that when someone go from mustajib to mazoon to dai to hujjat to imam, and they are teaching and learning, and reaches all the way to the top at the level of imam, because you use the word going to the sun and coming back, that has 2 implication meaning of the zahir and the batin. If you are asking on the level of the physical world, zahir, then imam is the highest rank. He is the nafsekul and aklekul. He is the master and the mola, and he is the absolute who teaches and gives guidance to all the levels. But if we are talking about, or if we are still on the subject of the soul and the world of the soul, then if you reach the Fanafi Imam level, you are that absolute who could give light to and can teach all the other levels, rank by rank, rank by rank, rank by rank, because now you are one with the Imam, and with the Imam's Amr, you can teach all the ranks that Imam wants you to be teaching. So you see, we are talking about 2 different nazariyat, aspects. A physical aspect and the batini aspect. At the soul, you can teach all the levels. And if we are talking about the physical aspect, then Imam is absolute and his guidance and talimat is absolute. Not only for the mu'minin but for entire humanity. It's depending on which level we are talking about or from which side this question is coming from. The physical side or the spiritual side. Very good question, very complicated question, but good question. Thank you for asking. Ji. Okay. So you are asking, remember when I said there is one common thing amongst all Imams Farman, and that was recognition of Imam. There was one common Farman amongst all the Imams, and that was recognition of Imam. I did not say it was the only thing. Coming to this world, is, let's say, just for the sake of learning, is the only purpose to recognize the Imam, then at the level of the physical body, in the physical world, with the limitation and with all the hindrance, Allah wanted to see, and we have taken the challenge upon us. Allah did not push us on this earth without our will, without our consent, without our want. We took the challenge and we said, I want to go, and even with all the limitation, even with all the hindrance, all the problems and the wails of this world, I will find you, Mullah, I will recognize you, Mullah, and I will come back to you, Mullah. And we took that upon ourselves, and inshallah, each of us, each of the soul, eventually will return back to Him. We are from Him, and we will return back to Him. We can take the elevator back to Him, or we can take the steps back to Him. We can take the path back to Him. But regardless, we will go back to Him. And maybe, who knows, maybe we will come back again and take the same challenge again. Because if you look at from the other side, from where you have come from the world of particle and world of the soul, from that side if you look at, the misery and the hindrance of this world is nothing. We happily will come back and take this challenge again and again and again. For understanding of this, I will again refer to 3 lectures of reincarnation, the journey of the soul. There are 3 lectures on this. Journey of the soul. Listen to those. It will give you a broader understanding of this journey. And then also please listen to and collect the articles on free will. How and when did we say we wanted to come to this world? Did we have a free will? Did we have a wish? Did we obey Imam's farman before we came to this world? If you wanted to have a batini understanding of that, I will encourage you highly to listen and collect those articles on free will, how we came to this world. Because we cannot be just teaching and learning about this world. We also have to understand before and after. And inshallah, there is enough material and enough lecture delivered on all of this subject. Listen to them, read those things. It will give you a really broader understanding of the Imam and recognition of Imam. Thank you. Beautiful question. How do we know where do we stand on the ranks or the steps of the Hudud-e-Din? You can know this 2 different ways, practically and with knowledge. If you have just accepted that I want to learn the Ilm-e-Imam, the true knowledge of the Imam, and you just accept it today or recently, you can instantly say, I am at the level of Mustajib. And you will know that with the ilm, and your heart will be your witness. If you have been listening, and if you have a limited izn or broader izn to not only learn but to teach, then you will know you are at the second and the third level of mazun. If you have the ilm of the da'i, the complete ilm of our tariqah, then you will know, and your heart will be witness to that you are at the level of 4 and 5, which are two levels of the da'i medud and da'i mutallaq. In ibadat, definitely you will be shown which level you are at the annual yaqeen level, because there are different levels of the yaqeen. At the ilmul yaqeen, you will know with the knowledge, the true knowledge of the Imam, and at the annual yaqeen, you can be shown in your ibadat which level you stand. Inshallah, we are all will reach to the levels Imam wish us to be. At least at the level of da'i. Ameen, Ameen, inshallah. Ji. Okay, let me repeat the question. Allah is so merciful, why He could not forgive Iblis? I'm going to add a question to it. Who said He did not forget Iblis? Surprised by my question? I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Okay? The mercy of the Imam, mercy of Allah, is amazing. First, from our near past, Imam Aka Sultan Muhammad Shah, may our soul be sacrificed to their Imam, said in one of his farman, even the Yazid who killed Imam Hussein, we forgave him. What did Imam say? Even that person who killed Imam Hussein, we forgave him. Second reference. Huzur sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that there was a shaitan, Iblis, with me. Now he has taken the bayah on my hand and he have become Muslim. He is no longer Iblis for me. Third, one time a Muslim, a follower of Huzur sallallahu alaihi wasallam, came to him and said, Ya Huzur, in the past tradition, I have committed a great sin, and I don't think Allah will ever forgive me. And Huzur said, tell me, what is your sin? And he said that I buried my live daughter in the sand. I buried my live daughter in the sand. This is such a grave and big sin that Allah will never forgive me for this. You know what Huzur sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Rahmatul Alameen, said? Allah's mercy is much greater than your sin. Allah's mercy is much greater than your sin. If we trust the mercy of Allah, then Shaitan, Iblis, or any of our sin cannot be. And personally, I don't believe there can be any sin greater than the mercy of Allah. Allah's mercy is much, much much greater than anything we can do. Do not underestimate Allah's mercy. He will, because the limit of the Iblis shaitaniyat is limited to the Qiyamah. When Qiyamah will come, Allah will forgive him and everybody. Trust in the mercy of Allah. That is my belief. Allah's mercy is much greater than any action we can take. G. We're talking about the Ismi Azam of the Ibadat. G. Remember, in Ibadat, the practice of the Ibadat is performed before 4 o'clock. So if you are alone in your privacy, you can practice with your tongue, but then at 4 o'clock, you perform your Ibadat with your qalb and your khayal. If because you have done the practice ahead of time, you will be able to maintain the speed in your heart and in your thoughts. And if your inner ears and your inner tongue has been activated, then you will be able to listen to what your heart's tongue is saying. You will be able to listen to your Ismi Azam within your heart and within your mind. And that is performed silently. G. Another good question. If you have been forgiven the greatest sin, doesn't this give everyone the license to behave as they wish? When you listen to those lectures, how we came to this world, we made one promise to Allah. And Allah given us one single order before we came to this world. Do you want to know what that order was? That will answer half of your question, and I will try to give another half of your question. There was one promise made between the soul and Allah. You know what that was? Allah said, be human. Be nice. Do not hurt others. There was one single promise. And if we are being human, being nice, insan bankar rehna, one single command encompasses everything. That one single command, the hikmah, the wisdom in this command, if you understand, it encompasses everything. Be nice, be human. Insan ban ke rehna. That was the only command Allah gave us before we came to this world. If we are insan, if we are being nice, we will commit any sin intentionally or willingly? I would say no. Intentionally, willingly, we will not commit sin. And it does not give us the license to commit sin. Let's take a couple of examples. This is the other side of the 50% of your question and answer. Parents tell the children, go play, do whatever you want to do. Go in your room and play and do whatever you want to do. Does this give the child a license to do whatever they want to do? Or does this tell the children, behave and play. Do whatever you want to do. Do you understand what example I'm using? Even they can do whatever they want to do. They can do whatever. But at the same time, there is a limitation. There's a limitation. But when we were talking about the mercy of Allah compared to the misbehave and the sin of the human, we are saying the mercy of Allah is much bigger than the sin of the human. Again, I wanted to draw your attention on the cycle. If you misbehave, and if you misbehave and you have committed nothing but the sin, the cycle will take 50,000 years. There are 50,000 steps between number 6 and number 12. If you misbehave, your journey will be really, really, really long on these steps returning back to Him. But if you are insan, behaving yourself, then your journey could be easy. You can take the elevator between 6 and 12 and go right back to Asal Mein Wasil. Your journey is in your hand. Ji. I think we should stop here and take the question, and we will cover them later on. So continue to ask your question and comments, and we will take them in our next session. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kamre Sahib. Ya Ali Madad. Ya Ali Madad. Ameen. Ya Ali Madad. Ya Ali Madad.
Thank you. Ya Ali Madad. Thank you. Ya Ali Madad. Thank you for the previous